Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the June meeting of the Borough of Monmouth Beach. I would ask that everyone remove your hats. We're going to do the flag salute, and you can choose a flag up here. We prefer the one in the corner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask that everyone please turn on your microphones so you do not forget. Just FYI in the audience, before I begin, reminding some of you who may not have been here, we are recording our meetings now, and they are available on our website, so I want to make sure that everybody can be heard. Under the public section, if you choose to come and speak, you'll have to approach the podium, and we'll turn the microphone on for you so you can speak, and that will be recorded, okay? This meeting is being called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting was included in the annual notice of meeting sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times, and in addition, a copy of this notice was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and filed in the office of the municipal clerk, where it remains continuously posted as required under state statute. Give me a call order, please.
Commissioner Bolt?
Here.
Commissioner Stickles?
Here.
Mayor Summers?
Here. Can I get a motion, the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting held on April 22nd and on May 27th be dispensed with, and that they be stand as recorded?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Bolt?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickles?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. Consent agenda. The consent agenda items are considered routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certificate of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Number 1, the renewal of a liquor license for Boyle's Tavern for 2026-2027. Number 2, renewal of the liquor license for Monmouth Beach Bath and Tennis Club for 2026 through 2027. Number 3, the renewal of the liquor license for MD Retail Corporation for 2026-2027. Number 4, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a shared service agreement with Monmouth County for continued participation in the Community Development Program for 2027 through 2029. Number 5, authorizing mayor and clerk to execute a shared service agreement with Monmouth County for continued participation in the Public Safety Answering Point, PSAP, for police, fire, and EMS services for that program for 2026 through 2030. Number 6, approving a change order, number 1 and final, for the Spartan Construction Company for the Bathing Pavilion Repairs Project, which reduces the contract by $2,605.13 for a final contract amount of $80,269.87. Number 7, approving a change order, number 3, for JADS Construction for Riverdale Avenue Improvements Project, which increases the contract by $36,108.58 to provide for additional milling, pavement, overlay, and traffic striping added to the contract. Number 8, appointing Gianna Sabin and Nicholas Emirati as Special Law Enforcement Officers, Class 2 trainees. Number 9, authorizing submission of a grant application to the New Jersey Department of Transportation for Wesley Street and Griffin Street funding. Number 10, authorizing the 4th round affirmative marketing plan. Number 11, appointing Shannon Ivins and James Rooney to the Historical Committee, regular members for 1-year terms. And number 12, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the County of Monmouth for open space trust funds for the establishment of a Veterans Memorial Park on Beach Road, block number 27, lot 21.01. Can I get a motion that the consent agenda items be passed and adopted?
I just have one question, Joyce. Appointing the 2 new members to the Historical Committee, would they come up for renewal January 1 again, same as everybody else?
So
All right.
this takes effect immediately, and then we'll reappoint them January.
Together.
To get the whole committee in January. Okay. So then I make a motion that the consent agenda items be passed and adopted as read.
Second.
Commissioner Bolt?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickles?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. Can I get a motion that the bills totaling $1,483,303.89 be approved for payment?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Bolt?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. All right, and now we have a presentation from Ben Harvey of Blue Sky Power.
Lisa first.
Say again?
We were gonna do, the superintendent at Shore.
Yeah. Sorry. My mistake.
We're working on the fly, man.
When it's not on my script, sometimes, it's all good. Dr. English from Shore Regional is here to have a few words with us this evening. Thank you for coming, Dr. English. Always welcome.
Thank you. Lisa English, very proud superintendent of the Shore Regional High School District, 132 Monmouth Park Highway, West Long Branch, New Jersey, 07764. Thank you for allowing me a minute to see all of you, Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Villain, members of the Monmouth Beach community. It's a great honor to be here tonight, and the purpose for my visit is a simple one. It's simply to say thank you. Thank you for all that you do, not only for community service, the countless hours that you do to serve the Monmouth Beach community, but also on behalf of our Board of Education, our administrative team, our faculty, our staff, the members of our Shore Regional community, and first and foremost, the Monmouth Beach students who we have the true gift to educate at Shore Regional. We appreciate all that you do. Thank you for not only attending and being a part of our school community. I know it's tough when you're moving in every direction and have to be in a million places, sometimes several, 2 or 3 in one evening. But your commitment to this town and our students is greatly recognized. As the proud Shore Super, I have to also say that I would be remiss if I did not mention and appreciate how much of the valued partnership we have with Monmouth Beach Elementary School. I get to work with your superintendent, my colleague, Elena Jorge, her administrative team, the faculty and staff that educate the students during their time at Monmouth Beach, but not only during their time at Monmouth Beach, how that continues to support as many of them become the students of Shore Regional High School. I think that I'd like to make the message very clear that we always welcome you to Shore Regional. We hope that we'll continue to see you in 26, 27. And last but not least, on September 4th, if you're able to pencil that in, you will soon get a save the date to the 3rd annual Mayor's Ball that I was able to start a few years ago with the support of our Board of Education and many people in our community that value members from Monmouth Beach and so many other local communities who not only serve their towns, but serve and support education and first and foremost our students. So I thank you again for this minute tonight and for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you. And again, thank you sincerely for all that you do to support us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, now we have a presentation from Mr. Ben Harvey from Blue Sky Power. He will give a presentation on the Community Energy Plan. You can step right up.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Does this
This was the short version, right, that we chose?
Are you sure about that?
I think so. Anthony?
Okay, great. All right. So let's do this. Yeah, I gave Mayor the choice of the short version, long version. He chose the short version. Anyway, the long version, your full community energy plan, was made available on the website, so people can take a look. It will be available now. The community energy plan was developed under the Board of Public Utilities grant for community energy plans. The borough received a $10,000 grant, which provided the opportunity to be able to develop this plan. We've worked on it for about a year now, and developed this with a team, working closely with Anthony and with Julie to come up with the plan. So the state has the Energy Master Plan, which actually the first one was developed about almost 20 years ago, in about 2007, 2008. New Jersey has been a leader in the country in sustainability and clean energy, and working closely with utilities to make clean energy and also make clean energy affordable. They've done that through multiple administrations on both sides by updating the Energy Master Plan. So we have a robust grid in the state that, particularly even after Sandy, they work to make even more resilient. And they've done it under this Energy Master Plan. So there's still a long way to go. There are a lot of different things to do, but the state has set out 7 primary areas. And in that, I don't know, do you have the slide? Yeah. So if you want to go to that next slide, I'll go over the state's strategy. So under the Energy Master Plan, there are 7 different strategies, including making clean energy available, reducing your energy consumption for emissions from the transportation sector. Think DPW vehicles, beach vehicles, etc. How can you reduce emissions through, logging gas, logging miles, making sure you're keeping vehicles up to date, as well as entertaining electric vehicles. Strategy 2 is to accelerate the deployment of renewable energy. Think clean energy, solar. Strategy 3, increase energy efficiency, predominantly for municipal facilities. Things like LED lights, remote control thermostats, that you can set from a phone or computer, motion sensors like in bathrooms, so lights don't just stay on. It's just ways to reduce your energy consumption and save money for the borough. Strategy 4 is reducing emissions and consumption from the building sector. So it's just making goals for new development, new building, and I just want to make this point because I just thought about it and I should have said it at the beginning. This plan is aspirational. The state is not holding anyone's feet to the fire and is not enforcing this in any way. They strictly made the grant available as a planning grant to help all the municipalities in the state get aligned with the state's energy master plan. It's actually pretty forward thinking for the state to create a real mechanism to be able to work closely with the municipalities so that they're aligned instead of all the municipalities doing a bunch of different things. Now there's a framework to work from. But the things you put in the plan, no one's requiring that you do them, okay? And you have plenty of years to entertain doing them. But it is a good course forward. So anyway, strategy 6 is encourage and supporting participation by low and moderate income residents, folks on fixed income. Strategy 7 is expand the energy innovation economy. That's a few different, new technologies the state wants to encourage. Stuff like battery storage. Think like, the Tesla Powerwall or other things that people use, solar with battery storage to create resiliency. Okay? So there are other things that don't apply that are in the state strategy 7, like that apply to the Trenton steam loop or the Atlantic City steam loop, microgrids, things that don't really apply to the borough. So those aren't in your plan. So that's the overall view of the plan. I'm now just going to hit quickly which initiatives the borough did choose. So if you want to go, yeah, you already got it. You're ahead of me. All right. So for strategy 1, which is reducing energy consumption emissions from the transportation sector, you chose 3 different initiatives under that strategy. The state has, I think, 10 different strategy or initiatives under that strategy. You guys chose 3, which is to adopt a supportive zoning ordinance and regulations for EV infrastructure. That way residents, as well as installers, companies doing EV chargers, know the rules of the road. So you just, where can you put it in your house? Where can you put it outside in a building? Setbacks, electric code requirements, etc. Strategies 1.2 and 1.3 kind of go hand in hand. Training first responders on how to address like an EV battery fire as opposed to a standard combustion engine fire. A lot of departments across the state are doing that training. Next is, go back one. 1.3 is training non-emergency personnel on EVs. Like if the DPW gets a Ford Lightning or code enforcement, I know you guys share, but if there's code enforcement official has a EV, and also so that they can, code enforcement or permitting knows how to deal with EV charging infrastructure. So those are the initiatives you guys chose in strategy 1. If you go on now to strategy 2, this is accelerating the deployment of renewable energy. So you want to start similarly to the EVs with adopting a supportive zoning ordinance. What do residents need to do in order to put solar on their houses? There's a model ordinance. We've drafted a lot of ordinances for municipalities. 2.2 is have a solar permitting checklist. Again, folks know what's required, meaning both the installers and residents, for what's required to permit a solar project. Similar to the strategy 1, we got training first responders as well as training non-emergency personnel, so I'll need to go into those. 2.5, installing on-site municipal renewable generation if you want to entertain putting solar on municipal facilities at some point. 2.13, a lot of the stuff we've talked about is about, and we will talk about, is reducing the energy spend for borough operations. 2.13 is an innovative one that wasn't in the plan, but that we talked with Anthony and Julie about, and that is making community solar subscriptions available to residents so they can save anywhere from 15 to 30% on their electric bill. You don't have to put solar on your house. You're just participating in a solar project that may be anywhere else in JCP&L territory, and you can get a credit on your bill. So a lot of our municipalities have done this program, cost the borough nothing, and residents have the option, if they want to sign up, to save 15 to 30% or more on their electric bill with a bill credit directly on their JCP&L bill. So as opposed to just reducing taxpayer money on the borough budget, residents can see real savings. So that's another good option. All right, strategy 3 is related to energy efficiency, like I talked about, newer HVAC, lighting, efficiency measures. So 3.1 is upgrade energy efficiency for municipal facilities. 3.2 is providing information from the Board of Public Utilities and the utilities on their energy efficiency programs that provide rebates and incentives. So at some of your municipal events, you want to have that information available to residents by having folks from BPU and I think you're in New Jersey Natural, right?
Yes.
And JCP&L. They have reps who will provide information to residents. So that's strategy 3. And then you guys opted not to pursue initiatives in strategies 4 and 6. I should say we left out strategy 5 because that only applies to modernizing the grid. That's just between the BPU and the utilities. So there are no municipal strategies there, which takes us to strategy 7, which you chose to adopt energy storage policies similar to solar and EVs. You want to let folks know what the requirements are if they're going to do battery storage associated with their home, so using battery for resiliency. Those are all the initiatives in your energy master plan. Hopefully that was the shorter version.
I think it was fantastic.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
So at this point, as part of the requirements of the grant, the Board of Public Utilities would like to get input and feedback on the plan and discuss some of those initiatives. So welcome any comments from you, Mayor, from commissioners, and from the public on any questions I can answer, any things you might want to consider in the plan.
Dave?
So, Ben, nice to see you again. First of all, thank you for coming tonight.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. If you recall, we started like a year and a half ago or more through the Environmental Commission,
Yep.
and we had a nice little meeting in here. And I think some of these things are going to help the residents and the town. For the town of Monmouth Beach, we do have some roofs that might be possible to use solar on. If we could look at that as a possible next step to save the town money on energy, that would be a great idea. As far as the others the other initiatives that handle mostly construction codes and stuff, I don't know, Julie, maybe you can talk with Steve Winters and make sure we're all up to date on what the stuff that Ben was providing. We only have, as far as I know, a couple of houses in town that have grid walls, battery walls.
Yeah.
We have a lot that have solar panels, and
We have
Mayor Summers and I have been involved over our firefighting years in trying to put out fires. Solar panels are no fun.
We also do have training, so
We
we've
have
already
training.
been doing that from the fire department level, training on both, solar panels and on
and
EV.
on EVs, quite a bit of training on the EVs, So,
So we'll make sure we're noting that in the plan that you've already, I think we have it as already being implemented. You can pick, start initiative already being implemented or,
Right.
not pursuing. So I'll make sure.
I believe EV training is part
Part of the
this-
Monmouth County Fire Academy now, they
the
get that.
basic Monmouth County Fire Academy class, so,
Okay.
which majority of our new firefighters go through there, yeah. So,
I think one concern that I have, and I think you probably remember this, Dave. Recently, we had an incident in one of our residences where there was an odor and then an alarm in the building on Monmouth Parkway.
Yep.
The fire department responded as though it were a CO alarm or some other possible gas in the building. Took a while for them to figure out, but it was actually the batteries in the EV that were emitting, the noxious fumes into the building. And
Clearly, there was something wrong with those batteries in that
right,
car.
something we
Because
didn't
that doesn't normally happen
And it
with
wasn't
an EV
a
truck
it
being
wasn't a
charged.
being
fire.
charged. No fire.
It was
no
a
fire.
some sort of chemical
It must
reaction.
have been pretty
caused it.
close to starting a fire, because, otherwise you wouldn't get any noxious odors
Right.
coming out
So,
of the battery.
when you were talking about initiatives and strategies and things about getting the residents educated, do you have any information on that residents could be educated on? Because although the fire department does training on it, it's not necessarily something we do in a reach-out program to get people to understand that. We would have hoped that the manufacturer of the vehicle would have provided some of that information, and maybe they did, and the resident didn't understand it. But is that part of what you're doing, so that they have some?
It's not, but we'll look into it. I mean, the links and the resources and, you know, the longer plan. So, I mean, this is just an overview of what's about, you know, a 30, 40-page plan that we have for you. There are resources and links for the training,
Right.
meaning for the fire company and for
Right.
the borough. But we'll look into any information for residents about what to do in case of.
I mean, it really is honestly a new technology, and especially in the vehicles in the United States. And so we're just coming upon some of these things, and you know, it usually starts in the fire department, in the trenches.
Yeah.
We're the ones that first end up, what is wrong here, you know?
Yeah,
So,
we'll look into it.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
And I will add that, you know, as far as the residents go, a lot of our residents are very environmentally conscious. You know, we live between the ocean and the river.
Yeah.
You know, and they're also conscious of what their electric utility bill has been lately. And I think solar is a great way. Maybe we need to do more outreach and educate our residents better as part of this program in the future as to the advantages of solar. Like you were just, I didn't realize you could
Yeah, I mean, the
get
community.
involved in a solar program and the panel's not even on your roof, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the community solar program is a great route to go because you're just signing on to a project that may be, you know, on a landfill somewhere else in JCP&L territory, and you're signing up for that without having to put it on your roof because not everyone has a perfect south-facing roof or has a roof
Right.
that's, you know, 10 years or under years old, and you know there are a lot of different conditions you need to have a great, you know, solar project to meet your electric need. But this way you can get a bill credit saving, you know, 20-30% on your electric. Pretty easy.
That would be great. I think we definitely need to let our residents know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, we'll provide more
If
information.
there's a flyer or something that you
Yeah.
could get to us, something we can email out on our email list.
Yeah, I mean, if you decide you want to pursue that, I mean, I think we put in the plan, there's a whole sort of series of steps to make that a program that the borough
Okay.
pursues.
I think
And makes
that's
available to
That's something we should definitely pursue.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, nothing from me, no. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions from public at all?
Well, I have to open the floor for that, so I can do that now if you would like. Can I get a motion to open the public, the
So
floor to
moved.
the public?
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Stickle?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. Are there any residents that have any questions for Ben?
Any state of New Jersey going to adopt the approval of solar panels that go to batteries? Connecticut has it, Maryland has it, I believe Massachusetts has it. It's a portable electric system that can be plugged into your home. Do you know where that is in the state of New Jersey?
I don't. I mean, I guess I'm familiar with a lot of the constructs in those other states, and you're talking about portable electric power versus microgrids, which are available in those states.
It's a portable solar panel that's connected to a battery.
Okay.
I think it's a Anchor battery.
Okay.
And a number of those states have approved that recently, but New Jersey, not yet.
Has not. All right. Well, New Jersey has been a little bit slower on some of the battery incentives. They had them years ago, stopped them, and now they're back again. And the federal investment tax credit is going away for solar, but is available for batteries. So we'll look into that and provide some information. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mayor.
it.
Thank you, Commissioners, and Anthony and Julie. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
And thanks for the opportunity to be the borough's energy consultant. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. I think we have to adopt this resolution. Can I get a motion to adopt the resolution, or to adopt the Monmouth Beach Community Energy Plan and authorizing a plan to be submitted to the NJBPU?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickle?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
We have an
All good, Ben.
You made it.
Ben's standing waiting before he cuts out, making sure we got it passed.
Go ahead, Joyce.
We have an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the Borough of Monmouth Beach, County of Monmouth, approving the purchase of 25 Meadow Avenue, Monmouth Beach. This is being read by title only with the public hearing taking place on July 22nd.
Can I have a motion that the ordinance be passed on title only and that the clerk be instructed to advertise the ordinance for a public hearing to be held on July 22nd, 2026 at a meeting beginning at 7 p.m.?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Yes.
We have an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limits and to establish a cap bank. This is the public hearing on the ordinance. There are copies in the back of the room.
Can I get a motion that the hearing of the ordinance be open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. Anyone in the audience have any questions on the cap bank ordinance? All right, seeing none, can I get a motion that the hearing be closed to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. And can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed and adopted on the second reading and public hearing?
So
Second.
moved.
Yep, second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
We have a resolution to present the public hearing on the 2026 municipal budget. There are summary copies in the back of the room.
Can I get a motion that the hearing on the budget be open to the public?
Do you want to do that, Larry? or
Yep,
me too?
yep, thank you. So moved, yes.
I didn't mean to step on your toes before, I'm sorry. Finance items.
Yeah.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. All right. We're opening the budget hearing for 2026. Larry, you want to take it from here? And
Sure. Are there any, it's open to the public, any questions before I just give a little summary update? Not update, but a summary? Very good, thank you. First, there's a lot of people I want to thank. There's a huge effort that goes into the annual budget process. It's time consuming. So all of our department heads, the DPW, police, fire, EMS, office, our borough engineer, Julie, our commissioners, and mayor and commissioners, we put a lot of effort into looking at what our individual budgets need. Our CFO and business administrator, thank you, in the office with the team, and our auditor, Bud Jones from Nosaboccio, is here, as well as our audit firm is required to be here when we adopt our budget. So the budget is presented. You'll see, if you have an interest, to look at the line items that have gone up or down. The summary is in the back of the room. Without getting into great detail, we are staying in line with past year's revenue, tax revenue. The increases that you might see are related to staffing matters and salary and benefits across the board in all of the departments. And we maintain a pretty tight control over our capital, and we've added funding into the budget this year to bring down our overall debt with some additional debt service. So the budget summary is available. If anybody has any questions, we can always take them in detail, or you can send us an email. But the budget is now in place, and I want to thank everybody that I mentioned. If I forgot anybody, Joyce as well, our borough clerk, and everybody that has involvement in our budget. And we are supported not only by Shore Regional, their budget, Monmouth Beach School, the county, the library taxes, all of those things play into your town, into your overall tax base for your home, but those are the piece parts that go into our overall budget, what we can control. Thank you again. Any questions? Happy to take them. Thank you.
all right. Did you Bud the comment at all? Or?
Bud, is there anything that you have to mention? I'm sorry, I forgot. Joyce?
No, it was just a challenging year overall. This as I'm sure Katie will attest, today was kind of a crazy day, trying to get approval from the state. They've been pretty last minute this year. But just before 4:30, we did get approval from the state to adopt the budget.
That's a little bit last minute, but
Yes.
thank goodness somebody was at the office at that late hour.
Like under the wire? But thank you for following up your side, and Katie, Anthony, everybody on our side. It was not an easy task this year, and a couple of delays along the way, so thank you, Bud.
All right. Any questions from the audience?
Thank you.
All right. Seeing none, can I get a motion that hearing be closed?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
This time we have a resolution that will amend the approved budget. We have to handle before we can adopt the budget.
Can I get a motion to adopt the resolution amending the approved budget?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. And, oh, that's you, Joyce.
We have a motion to now adopt the 2026 municipal budget.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
We have a bond ordinance providing for various 2026 capital improvements by and in the Borough of Monmouth Beach and the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, the Borough, appropriating $1,800,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of $1,714,284 bonds or notes of the Borough to finance part of the cost thereof. This is a public hearing. There are copies in the back of the room.
Can I get a motion that the hearing on the ordinance be open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. You have any questions on the ordinance? This is our 2026 capital bond ordinance.
And for those that are interested, this is a long-term improvements, mostly road work, heavy equipment, DPW, police equipment, things of that nature that are capitalized and amortized over the life of the asset, not expensed each year. Thank you, Bud.
Thank you,
I'll
Bud.
send you an email. Thank
Hey,
you.
before Bud runs out, I want to know if the state approved all 567 municipalities today at 4:30.
Some started at 4.
Yeah.
Yes, and this also includes our road work,
Yep.
our 5-year road work plan that we've been updating as we've been in office. We're continuing on that plan, so that is part of this bond ordinance.
I would say that just that this year we're probably doing a little less than we normally do. The bonding amount is probably maybe half of what we've done in prior years, Larry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, a little bit more than half,
A
yeah.
little bit more than half, yeah. So, we're in good shape on the roads. This 5-year plan that Mayor Summers mentioned has been in effect now for 9 years, 8 years, Julie? A while.
Been a while. We update it annually.
We started it my first term, so, yeah, maybe 7 or 8 years, yeah. So, the roads are in good shape in town, and it takes a lot of hard work to get it done. I appreciate all the work that everybody puts in on it. So,
All right. Seeing no questions from the public, can I get a motion that the hearing be closed?
So moved.
second,
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
yes,
Mayor Summers?
Yes, and could I get a motion to pass and adopt at this second reading and public hearing?
So moved.
second,
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichel?
yes,
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
At this time, we're going to have a public hearing on the 2026 Monmouth County Open Space Grant application for the Bridge of Parkatchee Avenue boat ramp and kayak launch improvements. Our borough engineer, Julie Nastasi, will walk you through that.
Good evening. So this grant application would be to the Monmouth County Open Space Development. They have 2 programs. One is for development of improvements, one is for acquisition. This application, the application is for kayak launch and the kayak launch at the end of Tachi Street and replacement of the concrete boat ramp.
It's very loud, Jules. If you set it down on the table and just talk towards it, it's kind of working.
Sure.
Yeah, because he
Sure
upped
you
the
can hear
volume.
me?
Give it a whirl.
Okay. So I just took what is hopefully a before picture of the ramp in its current. Yeah. and
was that my picture?
That's mine. I had to go back because the tide was
Beautiful
too high.
photography
This
work.
is today, but that's to show the area, and then I have a rendering of what would be potentially a layout. This, would be flexible, but the idea is to replace the ramp in kinds, the boat ramp, and then construct a ramp, floating dock, perhaps a kayak cradle. We can work out those details to the left side there. And restore the pavement probably like 50 feet up to get a better grade going into the river. The application would be for $100,000, the request for, and then, you know, the borough would match 100,000. I think that's, you know, fair estimate based on the costs that we just spent on the West Street boat ramp. This is a smaller scale, but not by that much. And, you know, there would be permitting required.
And Julie, if, I believe if we get this grant, they award sometime in like end of August, September-ish.
I think more September, October.
So this would fall into next year's budget cycle
sure.
for us.
Yeah.
So for everybody, we just did the 1.8 million capital. This would end up in next year's capital project, most likely.
Probably not payable till 28.
Probably, yeah. Usually the project would take, it would probably take a couple months to do the project, but typically, you end up getting paid for it a year later. And with Monmouth County Park System, we have to lay out, in this case, it would be the $200,000 up front and pay all the contractors, and then they reimburse us. So, much like we did for Griffin Park. And
Really all the grants.
yeah, all the grants we do, we've done a lot of them. Yep. The restoration in here, which Karen put together, you know, so, yeah.
And the one detail that I did add to the resolution, so I just want to point it out, because this is mostly at the end of a right-of-way, it really just might touch on, you know, Griffin Park is 2 lots. I spoke to the county, if that's, because everything is done by block and lot description. She did say that it would be very difficult to do without dedicating this portion of the right-of-way to the, included in Griffin Park. Like
Right.
that would, because at the end of it, you have to do a deed of open space easement. For all the ways that they identify it, they would want us to do that, you know, at the end of it, and I said that wouldn't be a problem.
So we might have a little title work to do to add that to the Griffin Park
Right.
lot and block, just
Right.
for the paperwork and for the county is what
Or
Julie's
before the
saying.
planning board, you know,
Yeah.
unofficially.
Yep,
We know some people on the planning board, so,
So,
I gotta go.
that's pretty
Okay.
much.
all right.
anybody in the public have any questions on this?
Yes, can I,
Okay.
just 1 second. Can I get a motion to open the hearing to the public?
So moved.
Second,
Commissioner Walsh?
yes.
Commissioner Stichels?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes, and, yes, you can now approach, if you will, you can approach the podium and just, it's on, right? The mic is on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have, give us your
Is this
name,
thing
your
on?
name and your address.
So,
Louise, could you give us your name and your address just for the record for Joyce?
okay. Louise Grassley, 16 Robin.
Thank you.
This is a lot wider than the existing dilapidated concrete ramp, right?
So the actual boat ramp is the same dimension.
Right, but then adding that additional thing
Correct.
takes up a lot more.
And that's why I mentioned there'd be permitting required. The DEP would have to approve the project.
Okay. Would the grant also include, this is a nicely paved road you've got here, but it isn't that way now, so there has to be a lot of repaving to the entrance, does there not?
A certain amount, but that's included. I mentioned we would want to lift that up a little bit so the transition is smoother, and this grant request does include
Okay, yeah.
about
All right, because
a distance
grants
to repave.
often have strings attached, and there end up being expenses that you didn't know about and they're not covered by the grant, but, so that's why I'm asking. But it's included then, okay. All right.
Julie's really good at that.
Okay,
Try to cover everything.
what's that?
Julie's very good at her grant writing.
Anticipating those kind of additional expenses that you mentioned.
Good, okay.
So,
Good
and,
to know. All
and
right,
the other plus from doing this, and as the borough engineer, Julie Nastasi, indicated, perhaps lifting up the end of the road there might help keep some of the nuisance flooding out, which is what's degrading the asphalt down there right now. If you go down, the road is nice, Tachi is nice. When you get down near the end, it's starting to disintegrate on us.
Just like West Street over the years, it's been decades since that has been replaced. We have had several residents who use that ramp notify us that it's a little bit rocky under there and hard for them to get in and out of the water. We don't want anybody getting hurt. So I think this is the appropriate action. It's been a while since we did this, and I think it'll enhance the use of the area down there for everyone. Anyone else from the public? Okay, seeing none, I ask that the floor be closed. Can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichels?
Yes.
Mayor Thomas?
Yes. And can I get a motion that the hearing, or that the resolution authorizing application requesting Monmouth County Open Space Trust Funds to fund the Griffin Park Tachi Avenue Boat Ramp and Kayak Launch Improvements Project be passed and adopted?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichels?
Yes.
Mayor Thomas?
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to reports now. Anthony, our BA, do you have anything for us tonight, Anthony? Thank you very much. And this goes out to everybody, but Anthony, you were also involved in this. Everybody in the office, all of our office staff, has done an exemplary job in the last month and a half-ish as we approached this 250 celebration. There was a lot of work behind the scenes that they did in that office. And on top of that, simultaneously, the beach season was opening. So they were doing the beach badges, and it was a lot. And I was in there daily, and I saw them, handling that with a lot of grace. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say we have one member of the office staff here, Nick, who was instrumental in, he's the guy that orders everything. So all this and everything, he does everything for us. Nick is a jock of all trades and a master of all of them too at this point. We appreciate it, Nick. So thank you very much for all your efforts.
Excellent work.
Yeah.
So thank you all. Julie, do you have anything further?
Don't really have a report because everything's buttoned up for the summer and working on applications and scoping future projects. But the contractor did share this nice
Oh, no.
The bar is moving very slowly. So while we're waiting for that to load, I'll just say that we finished Riverdale. We mentioned that last month.
yes.
And as part of the Riverdale project, that's where we created the flag crosswalks. And again, I'll mention Courtney Wanica's idea, taken to a whole new level by our borough engineer, Julie Nastasi, who came up with the design and worked with the line striper and the chief of police to make sure it was legal, and Bruce, I think, had to weigh in on that. So it's not quite as simple as grabbing a paint can. But I just want to say that everybody did a great job, and even while I was with the mayor today, he got a phone call or an email from somebody asking more about it again. I know you've had
Daily.
Julie, you've had a whole bunch of people requesting information on it.
Not only here in New Jersey, but throughout the tri-state area, because, in today's day and age, it becomes viral. And some things are and some things aren't. Somehow this became viral. It was everywhere. So it really has gotten a lot of positivity, for not just the town, but I think for just the whole 250 thing. And it's really, really cool to have that happen. So.
Okay.
So this was just the contractor sent us a nice aerial drone video of the project, the gazebo.
So this gazebo project was a CBGD? CGDP.
It's very hard to say that.
Wow.
Not the nightclub.
There's too many letters. CBGBs?
You said that on the
They
same-
might have went there.
Community Development Block
Community
Grant,
Development Block Grant, yes, thank you, Julie.
which
Yeah,
Monmouth
it's easier to
Beach-
say that.
which your eligibility is limited to ADA projects. So that's what this was.
So, in addition to pouring new surface area that's ADA compliant, we upgraded the actual gazebo itself. I think the only thing that was left were the the legs, right? The supports?
We kept the concrete
Yep,
columns.
concrete
and
columns
it was
behind,
rebuilt
behind
around
what
them.
we decorated around with siding and made them look a lot nicer, but, everything else is
There's
all.
one with a light in it now,
A what?
A light.
a light
Yeah, yeah.
on a timer,
So-
lovely.
And I have to tell you, if you have not taken a walk out there to see this, do yourself a favor and go down and take a walk. And it's really stunning. It really is nice just to go out and stand out there and take a seat and enjoy it. It's really nice.
We need that guy to come into town and do aerial shots for other things for us.
Right?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
So that's all I have.
Fantastic. Nice work, Julie. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
The chief of police is at a convention this evening. I'm sorry, I did. How about our borough attorney this evening? Do you have something for us?
Would you like the long version or the short one?
I think we're taking the short version this evening, if you can manage that, but, you know, it's
None.
up to you. You're the attorney.
I have none.
Perfect.
Well done.
We didn't want to leave that.
And now, back to the chief of police. The chief of police is not with us this evening. He's at a chief of police convention, doing his chief work. He did leave one message for Dave and I, and I will let you go on that. So,
I'll turn my mic on. I was reminded today that 4th of July is coming up, and it was very nice of Karen D'Agostino sitting in the audience out there to remind me. I thanked her for that, and of the possible potential parking problems that we have around town. West Street is one of those streets where I think it was 2 years ago, we had some incidents. There was construction going on, some other things. We needed emergency vehicles down the street, and we had some issues. So last year, I believe we implemented this, and we're going to do it again this year. It will be parking on one side of the street. The police will determine what side. I think it's probably going to end up on the east side
I
again.
believe
The
he said
chief
he's going
east
to ask
side.
he's going to do the east side of West Street, beginning on Friday, July 3rd, and running through midnight, July the 5th.
So signs will probably go out on Thursday. It'll take effect midnight on Thursday or 12 a.m. Friday morning, because most people have off Friday since 4th of July is Saturday. So hopefully that'll eliminate some of the problems we have. We do this because we get a large influx of people coming to the beach on the 4th of July. Imagine that.
And on top of that, this year, I don't know how it's going to affect us, but the 250 sail event is happening in New York Harbor, and most of the base of where those ships will be coming from are located in the Sandy Hook Bay area and near the Earl Pier, all of which are visible from the shores just north of us in Seabright, Highlands, and the state is expecting a lot of folks to come in and try to view that at the same time that we're having the World Cup taking place. So, in an abundance of caution, the police chief thought it would be a good idea to make sure we don't put ourselves in a situation where the road gets closed like it did. So that's why we took that action.
So along those lines, I would just tell the residents, anticipate a lot of traffic over 4th of July weekend. There's gonna be a lot of people here. I don't know how many people they're gonna let out on Sandy Hook with cars, but I would imagine it's gonna fill up really quickly. And Seabright has next to no parking up there. The next town down is us. So I would anticipate a lot of people parking in town, not only to go to our beaches here, but to walk all the way to Sandy Hook from here, which you could do, just to see all those tall ships. I think we should all be prepared, and hopefully nobody's surprised when they see the number of cars parked on the streets in our town.
Yeah.
But the chief is still waiting. I know he mentioned he's still waiting for the traffic plan. Hopefully he gets that very shortly from the state police. And also, on July 4th, fireworks in Seabright on Saturday night, July 4th, and also fireworks in Long Branch. So, do it all at the same time.
And stay in town.
Yeah.
Walk. Okay. Our Public Works Director, Joe Chichillo, is off this evening. He had a personal matter to attend to. So I think we'll move on. Let's,
I'll just want to thank him on the record and his whole staff.
Yeah.
For the, just like our office staff, the amazing job that Public Works did for our 250 celebration a week and a half ago. Without those guys, we couldn't have pulled it off. You know, it's not just picking up the garbage and cleaning up. They did all this setup. They helped move everything around. They moved bleachers around, chairs around.
45 barriers from the roads. I mean,
that's
there was,
right, yep.
there was a lot going on for 6 people, right?
Those plastic barriers, they filled with water, you know, so you could run into one. You weren't going to get your car through. I can guarantee that. You know, Joe made arrangements. We borrowed them from, I think it was
Highlands
Highlands.
and Long Branch.
And
And
Long
Long
Branch, yep. So there was a lot of work that went into this, a lot of planning, and, you know, thanks to the Public Works staff, and of course, thanks to our Historical Committee for putting the whole thing together, yeah.
So, okay. We'll move on to commissioners' reports. I'm going to allow Dave to say, I know that this is probably more his thing right now. So I want to thank the Historic Committee for the unbelievable work that they did on this 250 event. And bragging, it was far, far more unbelievably impactful, I think, to the residents than any of us anticipated. And I'm sure Larry, I have been hearing from people, I know that Dave has, and I'm sure some of you in the borough have heard the same thing. Absolute positivity. Hundreds and hundreds of people came, and I don't think we had a problem, which is over 4 days. That's pretty telling. So thanking them, but also Lisa, who's in the back, Dave's wife, Lisa, kudos to her. When I tell you she was juggling 50 things simultaneously, it was probably 70, but she held it together with grace, and nothing but good things to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, but I will
Leave it to a teacher to get it done.
That's right.
Right? And be organized about it. And I will say there were a lot of people that were involved, the whole historical committee, of which Karen is also a member. Dickie Keller, Mark Rassiopi, and my wife Lisa were instrumental, kind of the 3 co-chairs that put the whole thing together. The recreation committee organized everything at the park on Saturday, and so Courtney Waddick was involved, and Colleen Campbell on that. And the whole rec committee was down there helping set up tents and making sure the coolers got full of water. So many residents and businesses stepped up to help pay for this thing. Just, I want to go on the record. The whole 4-day celebration didn't cost the taxpayers of Monmouth Beach 1 penny. That's amazing. And in a year when we're having a hell of a time trying to put a budget together, that was unbelievable. The funds that they raised to do this thing were just unbelievable.
I mean, not only all of the necessary stuff that we needed to put this on, but to and including the overtime for the police department and the public works department. So that just unbelievable response from the borough. The generosity, just astounding. So we can't, the 3 of us cannot say enough.
I never dreamed 2 years ago when I went to the first meeting Monmouth County put on, held by Director Tom Arnone and
Hanlon.
Christine Hanlon, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you can picture her, and Ted Maturo, who the county put in charge of this whole 250 celebration. I sat in that meeting with probably, 50 or 60 other people. Most of them were mayors, because that's who they invited at the time. And I said, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. A lot of them recommended the Recreation Committee, and I thought our Historical Committee would handle it the best. Our Rec Committee stepped up to the plate, and as I mentioned before, did an unbelievable job with it. There were a lot of moving parts. I never imagined that we could have done what we did over a 4-day period. We started with a history of how the town was formed or came about, and who knew? We had to wrestle the Indians for our land, right? Now everybody knows that. Ezekiel Wardell did that. And then we finished after having a great parade, fireworks, a car show, a couple of bands, giant party, We finished on Sunday morning with the history of the country, the 8 official flags of the United States, and a interesting reading and interpretation of the Declaration of Independence by John Schneider, right, Lise?
Yep.
In full reenactor garb and throwing accents in there for those. We had the whole room full here. For those of you that missed it, I'm sorry you did. I think it was recorded. I'm pretty sure
do think they
Courtney
did.
has it on. It's on the website.
If you see
Okay.
it, it's worth watching. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We did a nice job.
But for our committee, there was no stone left unturned. They really thought of everything and tried to have events and things for everybody to do. Started first with getting a grant to refinish the woodwork in here, which looks fabulous. And even going so far as you might see some lawn signs out around town. There's a QR code on there. There are 31 of them, Lise. 31 lawn signs around town at all the historical venues. And there's one right out here, right outside this building, that you can click on the QR code and you will get the whole history of how this building got here. I don't know how many people know it was moved here. It wasn't built here, it was up the street. But you get a whole history of everything that happened at this facility. Every one of those places has their own little page that ties in to the website, right, Lise? The historical committee is MB, give me that. MonmouthBeachHC.org. And you can get that link and you will get everything that we're looking at in there. I think you'll be amazed at all the work that went into this whole thing. It's just blows my mind, and I'm very proud of this town. It's the best thing I can say.
Yeah, no words. Amazing, just amazing. Yeah.
And I'll say the county has echoed those words. Director Arnone was just, we set the bar very high for the other towns to follow through. And we also did it a couple weeks before 4th of July. And we'll see what the other towns can come up with, but we set a very high bar.
Yes.
He was very pleased. Yeah.
So, again, thank you all for coming. If you didn't, I'm sorry. You'll see us in 50 years, that's all I can tell you. One other item here. If you have been to the meetings, you know that we are and have been negotiating with Wells Fargo to try to acquire the property of the bank that has closed now over a year ago. We are, I think, very close. We have gotten a lot of positive response from them. I have met with them virtually a couple of times. I just got an email, 2 weeks ago. I had asked again. I try to keep on their radar about progress, and I received a very positive email from the executive vice president who I've been in communication with, and the words "final stages" were used, and I think that's positive to hear. Now, it's a big company, and things take a long time. You heard us tonight introduce a resolution that we are going to submit to the county in anticipation of potentially acquiring that land. And we don't know how that's going to work. We are asking for it to be donated, but one way or the other, when we do get the land, and I hope that happens in the not too distant future, we will need some funding to change it into the Veterans Park. And part of that might be removal of that building, and there's costs involved in that. And all of that money that we will be able to get from the county can be used to completely pay for, we hope, that. So we'll know better as time goes on, but the process is ongoing, and we're positive about it. That's really all I can tell you right now. I would certainly take a question if you have any questions on it. And we will announce it immediately once we find out and keep you in the loop. I have nothing further. Dave? Oh, yes. So,
We have
we do have one kind of a special thing.
One thing further.
So, some weeks ago, my wife, who is on social media a lot, me not so much, came to me one evening and ran over and said, "Oh my God, look at this!" And there was an Instagram post from Maine, from Goose Rocks Beach, Maine. Maureen's family's had a house in Goose Rocks Beach, Maine for well over 100 years. She spent a lot of her summers there, and she enjoys the community, and she enjoys it so much that 7 years ago she started a Facebook page up there, which is like our Monmouth Beach page, and she's the person who runs it. So she gets a lot of this information. It was on that site. Someone had asked to put it up, so she saw it and reviewed it and showed it to me. And the gentleman who is in that story is sitting in the room tonight. His name is Nick, if I can get this right, it's Beatles. Nick Beatles. Nick Beatles is a retired Marine who served in 2 tours in Iraq, where he was injured. Thank God he's okay. He came out of there with quite an experience, and he has been living a very interesting life. Nick has 4 daughters, his youngest of which just graduated high school, and he has been thinking about doing what I'm about to tell you for a while, but since his daughters graduated and he decided he had time, he decided to walk across the United States, beginning in Portland, Maine, and ending in Portland, Oregon. And the first portion of that took him from Maine, which is where I saw that. So he began in Portland. Portland is about 25 miles to the south. Goose Rocks is 25 miles-ish to the south. So he spent an evening at a campground not more than a quarter of a mile from where my wife's family home is. And so she's been following Nick daily on his travels. And Nick is traveling the country to shine a light on mental illness and suicide rates for veterans, which I think all you need to do is pay attention a little bit to the news and the newspapers in the last 10, 15 years, is an immense problem in this country. Our government could be doing a lot more for a lot of things, but this particular issue is a no-brainer, and he's trying to shine a light on that, and I think in his own quiet way, he's doing that. And about a day and a half ago, my wife said, Nick is in Brooklyn, and he's heading his way down this way. I did not know that Nick was coming down towards the shore, but having found that out, we found out that Nick was ending his journey last night in Belford, and he planned on coming down the Jersey Shore to Monmouth. I assumed he meant Monmouth Beach. Wasn't really sure. But I made contact along with my wife last night to Nick and asked if he was coming down to Monmouth Beach. We would love to host him here and have lunch with him today. Nick arrived this afternoon at about 2:30 at the Cultural Center, and then I walked the final few blocks with him to our main street and brought him down the block. And we had lunch at the Kitchen Witch along with Dave and a few of the other people from the community that were available, including my brother, who's a veteran. And then we spent some time at our Veterans Memorial, and then brought Nick to the intersection at Beach and Riverdale, where he got to view the crosswalk. We took some pictures there. The police department was nice enough to block the road for a minute. But the whole experience, with everything that's been going on in the last few weeks, was just, it just tied it all together for me. And we are honored with your presence, Nick. And I'm glad you chose our town to come through. And we wish you all the best moving forward. I know you got a long journey ahead of you. He is headed now down the coast a little bit, and he's going to be heading over to Philadelphia for the 4th of July. And then making your way to Washington as well. And then from there, Nick is going to head westbound and travel the rest of the country and end up in Portland, Oregon. And so we don't have a big crowd here, we never do. But I would ask that, I'm sure Nick has some of his cards. If you want to take one, he has a QR code on here. You can follow him. He has a website. Obviously, Nick is not doing this out of his own pocket. Nick is doing this the best way he can. So generously, if you feel like you'd like to help him, he certainly would take that to help him travel. Tonight, we're putting him up in the Monmouth Beach Firehouse. We have a nice bunk room here now since we did the renovations, and so a nice comfortable place for him to sleep so he can get up and start his travels tomorrow down the coast.
Hey, let me just jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
Nick, what's the charity that you're also affiliated with?
Exactly.
That you're gonna...
It's called Mission 22.
Okay, Mission 22, everybody.
Some of you may know, 22 veterans a day kill themselves.
It's all right, brother. It's okay.
I've lost more friends after war than I ever did at war. So I want everyone to awareness that and stop it. I don't think we're ever going to stop it, but I left Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm from, and started this May 30th. I left with 30 people following me. Now I've got over 600. This is working. I have people reach out to me every day telling me thank you. I meet wonderful people like you guys that are helping me along my way, and I can't thank you enough. This country and the world has a mental health problem. It's 10 times worse for veterans. 22 a day has actually gone up. It's closer to 27 a day now. It's a problem. So anything that you can do to spread the word, and not just that, check on your friends. That's the main thing. People forget. People think everyone's tough. First responders, veterans, nurses, doctors, it's a hard life we live. I'm very blessed to still be here, so I'm going to do what I can and keep walking. I've currently made it a little over 350 miles in less than a month. I've never done anything like this. I'm not an athlete. I wanted to do something to make a difference, and I think I am, and I'm nowhere near done. So thank you for everything you guys have done. Not just you, every town I've passed through, I've met people that support what I'm doing, and that is showing me that the country we live in is still great. It never stopped. So thank you, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna head south and keep going. Thank you, everyone.
No, not
Right.
at all. Not at all.
It's all about awareness. That's Nick's whole mission, is about awareness for mental health for veterans. So, everybody follow him, and let's make everybody in the whole country aware.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna pass this along on our social media platforms tomorrow, along with a few photos, so people can recognize what you're doing, and hopefully we can, make them enthusiastic about getting behind you. So, all right. It was a pleasure to meet you, sir. Thank you. Any further?
That's all I got.
Nothing further, nothing. Thank you.
All right. Can I get a motion to close the floor to the public?
So moved, and I'll add to adjourn at the same time.
There you go.
How's that?
How's that? Go ahead, Joyce.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.